And to my left here, I have Kyle Van Cleave, owner of Cameron Small Engine Repair here in Cameron, one of our sponsors to the show. Kyle, it's always a pleasure to have you on. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing great. Thank you, Matt.
I'm glad you came on because, you know, it's been dry for a while. Haven't been cutting too much grass. Things are sitting, equipment's sitting. So there's always good tips to know. And I gave you a call and a text, and we were trying to figure out what we can make sure that the public out there knows and what you can tell them. And you also got some good deals going on. And I got my Cameron Small Engine Repair shirt on. See that?
Cameron Small Engines.
There you go, man. Looks good. Okay, so what do you got going on, Kyle? And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I know Kyle's parents, okay? He comes from good stock. Those Phil and, can I say their names?
Yeah.
Phil and Gwen, they're great. What comes out of his mouth, it's true, okay? And if it's not true, it's because he got bad information and he's just relaying what he thinks to be true at the moment. So when he speaks, you can count on it. Miss Gwen took care of my kids. She did a fantastic job. Phil, he's an awesome guy. I like him a lot. And we got Kyle, their son. So I'm telling you, when he's talking, listen, because it's accurate. Go ahead.
All right. Well, talking about storage, we're kind of at an odd place. We're coming to the end of the cutting season. It was already dry. Everybody was needing some rain. A couple of weeks ago, people got 2+ inches, and I saw around the area a lot of places were still dry, so they might not have gotten it. We're at a weird spot coming to the end of the season where do we need to store this equipment? Are we going to use it for a month? Is it going to sit until February when all the new spring stuff is coming up? So kind of at a strange spot, but if you're ready to park it and you know you're there, good thing to do is to go get you some freshly pumped fuel at your gas station, or if you want to, you can buy that canned fuel. It's more expensive, but it's good stuff. It's ethanol free. The stuff you're getting at the pump has got ethanol in it, and that's not helping things. But if you go get you some of the low grade, and the reason you want the low grade is because the gas that is manufactured at the fuel pumps is got a certain amount of life in it. The cheap stuff gets pumped into the ground faster because it's pumped out of the ground faster, and you want that stuff in there, and you want to add some stabilizer to your fuel.
Well, I got a question from the get-go.
Okay.
If ethanol is not that great, why the heck are they putting it in the gas?
It's lawmakers, policymakers, the people who grow corn. I mean, it's helpful for those, helps them out, farmers that produce it. Another thing to note about it that you might not have known, it's 100% trucked. You can't pipeline it because it's so corrosive.
Wow.
So that's another thing. Your E85 vehicles that are made to run on 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline, they have special fuel lines, they have special rubbers in them, special O-rings, special gaskets, because it eats them up.
Flex fuel, is that got ethanol?
It's 85% ethanol, it's E85.
Oh, wow.
So your flex fuel vehicle can run on E10, E15, or E85.
But the flex fuel vehicles have more tendency to probably corrode quicker?
I didn't say that. They have special fuel systems to accommodate
Okay,
that corrosive stuff.
I got you.
So it's good for farmers. It's
So
good for policymakers.
Us without those special systems.
Right. And that's another thing. You don't want to put E85. You don't want to put anything bigger, anything higher than 10% volume of ethanol into your small engine equipment. They're just not made for it. They can handle 10%, no more. It makes them run leaner. It makes them run hotter, and it just does bad things anyway.
Okay. All right, continue on.
So your stabilization, you can use any number of products. We carry a product called B3C. It's either ethanol shield or mechanic in a bottle. Either one of those you can use for fuel stabilization.
Do you have mechanic in a bottle?
Yes.
You better let him out.
Trey's over there groaning.
All right, I'm sorry, man. That's like you got Johnny Walker in a bottle. Yeah, I sure do.
The ethanol shield, we're talking about mechanic in a bottle, letting them out.
Is your refrigerator running?
Yeah.
I think I just saw it down the street.
Yeah, mechanic in the bottle, letting them out. It's the same thing as ethanol shield. It's just more concentrated. Okay. So it's an even better product than ethanol shield, and it does really cool things for water and ethanol issues. It prevents ethanol issues, and if you do happen to have some residual water in your system, the mechanic in a bottle, or MIB, is really cool stuff. You can take 2 ounces of it and about an ounce of water and shake it up, and you don't see the water anymore.
Where does it go?
It's bound up in it, and it will actually burn with your fuel through the engine and evacuate that water. It's really cool stuff.
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, you can treat that fuel with that for storage. Treat your fuel tank with that fresh fuel with the stabilizer, mechanic in a bottle preferably, because it prevents you from having ethanol problems. And if you do have some,
can they get that from you?
Oh yeah, Yeah, we keep that in stock all the time.
Well, that's great. See that? Listen to that. That's a fantastic tip, everybody. You need to go, support this guy here. He's giving you great information.
Yeah, you treat that fresh fuel, get it running through your system, let it run 10-15 minutes to get it working from your fuel tank into your carburetor, and then you're ready to park it. You want that treated fuel worked into your carburetor so that it's in there. For some reason, that fuel in that carburetor, I don't know if it's smaller amounts. Your carburetor is also vented to atmosphere, and it could be that exposure to atmosphere in a smaller amount of fuel, it goes bad a lot faster than a large amount of fuel. So what's in your tank may be bad, but it's not as bad as what is gumming the heck out of your carburetor.
This is interesting. I had a gas tank in the barn, outside barn, there for years, and it still worked. Is that possible? Because it worked.
The fuel we got now is not the same as we had maybe even 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So I think maybe at that time that's possible. That being said, for years and years, way before ethanol was in anything down here in I'll call Texas the South because I just kind of relate Texas with it. But there was no ethanol in here for a long time. And up north you had gasohol, and people knew what that was. We had carburetor problems all the time, even before ethanol got here. So it's surprising to me that you had some for years that still had the boom in it to start your engine. I don't know if you've seen, all the fuel cans are sealed up now, so the atmosphere can't get them because that ethanol draws moisture out of the atmosphere. They used to be open, and you could see vapors sweating off of them. That's the boom you need to run. So if you've been sitting there sweating all those vapors off for years, and all that's left is the heavy elements, it ought not start and run. So if it did, it surprises me.
Wow, interesting, because it did.
Yeah.
But just, I don't know, fluke. Maybe it was closed. I didn't know it. It was contained in its own can. But that's
Maybe
a
so.
small story.
Yeah.
Keep going with what you got, buddy. Got a lot of information here.
And you could do something else, and we often have a very mild winter, and there's grass growing throughout, and it's not real fast, but it's there, and it makes your lawn not look great. It's not level. You go ahead and cut it. 2-3 winters ago, it's stayed pretty darn mild, and it rained throughout, so people really didn't put lawnmowers up. So it's kind of hard to know what to do if you're going to have a mild winter. But
well, worst case scenario is you're just going to blow out your preparedness or the stuff that you're putting into the fuel system and just redo it, right?
Honestly, the worst it'll do is cost you some stabilizer. I mean, and it's a good idea to keep it in there anyway, just to treat for ethanol issues and to prevent them.
What about this too? When you're done cutting the grass to clean the deck, moisture in the grass, rot in your belts.
Yeah, it's a good idea not to mow wet grass like has been just rained on, or a heavy dew, because it sticks all that junk to your mower deck. And another thing it can do, it can rust it out. But another thing it can do is it sits there and it's clumped up, and your blades are in it. And by the time it dries, I think it expands just a little bit, and your blades are hung up in it. You go to engage your blades, and the blades are not turning, but your belt is trying to turn, and your belts are all torn up on account of that. So that's another thing we have seen. So it's a good idea to clean out under there. It's hard to get into the habit because a lot of people are not equipped to even change blades, let alone clean out underneath the deck.
Well, it's hot down there too after you're done doing it, so you got to cool it down. You forget and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting too. Some people may not know this. I didn't know it at first because I'm just a dummy at that. The blades a lot of time get dull because of the sand.
That's right. You have, let's say, somebody that's in metal fabrication. They'll have a sandblaster to remove rust or paint, and they're great for that. But if you keep on going, once that's gone, it eats right through the metal. It'll cut it, and you see the wings. The blades have wings on them to move air, and the air is what discharges that grass out to the side. Well, that wing is standing up proud, and that sand or any kind of dirt you got there is sandblasting the backside of that blade, which is the wing standing up, and it'll just come right off, and it'll be gone.
So if you have sandy loam, you're more prone to quicker blades that are getting dull than somewhere like black dirt. Okay, I see you got a bunch of stuff here. You got specials going on?
Yeah, we got some specials going on here. There is... we have a 360Z series of Snapper Zero Turn Mower. We've got a $150 rebate going on through the end of August. September, actually, so September 30th we've got that. $50 comes off of the price at the shop without you negotiating, and the rest of it is actually a prepaid Visa card that you get after you mail in a rebate.
Can we show this on the screen, maybe so people can see what they're doing, or is it something?
Yeah, there was one of these that said confidential, so I may not show that one. Okay. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but you can see that there. $50 comes off of it at the shop, and then plus whatever you negotiate, because you can. It's all negotiable. we're an individual mom and pop shop, so it's not like it's corporate and we're like, no, this is the price. So everything's negotiable. So you got that plus that. The rest of this, I believe.
Okay, we won't show that then.
Yeah. The other one, we have some Snapper tractors in stock that apply for a $300 rebate. They're trying to flush those out of the market. There's 2017 models, and they've got a different hood. No, the hood's the same, but the grill they've changed, and they want to flush those models out. I've got 3 of them on the shelf there that have a $300 rebate, and it's the same deal as the other. $100 comes off of it at the shop without you negotiating. Then whatever you negotiate, and then also you'd have a $200 Visa.
He doesn't have to tell you this, everybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to tell you this at all. He's doing it because, you know, he's one of us. You want to get a good deal as best you can, but he's also in business. We got to take care of each other like that. So
we've got that. In addition to those, we have financing available for both Big Dog Zero Turn mowers, Snapper tractors, and Snapper Zero Turns. They've got a bunch of 0% plans, 0% for 12. This will be for Big Dog. 0% for 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 42 and 48. And you also have some 0% for Snapper, only one. 0% for 12 or 0% for 48 months. Those are things that we can provide, and that's not us doing that. It's actually a company called Sheffield Financial. They do stuff for the power sports industry and music vendors like guitars, amps. They do that for the small engine industry also. So we have that available as well. But that's something we can do. Another thing that we've got, I have in stock right now 2 54-inch Big Dog Alpha MP mowers. They're demonstrator models. They've cut grass. They've come from another dealership, and I can take some money off of those. They also have an upgrade on the front end. They're called Flex Fork. So that Zero Turn by and large has no suspension on it. The only suspension you get out of it is the rubber and the tires. They're pneumatic tires, but these have a suspension system built into the front end, and that's a $300 upgrade that will go with it for nothing. And it also has, it's not air conditioning, but they call it an air seat. It's got a fan in the seat, and it blows on your back, so it's a pretty nice little.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Anyway, the list price on that is $45, $49, $95. That demonstrator model, we're taking $300 off of it. So, and any one of these would be eligible for financing. That is with your approved credit though, so it's not in-house and it's not Big Dog or Snapper. It's the Sheffield Financial. So we just plug in your financial information, and they'll get a call back within about 5 or 10 minutes and tell us if you're approved for that and take it on. And
well, that's great. I want to ask you something because as the clock ticks here, tell people what you do that they don't know you do.
Well, we don't really advertise it, but we do utility vehicle and ATV repair. Don't advertise it because I have no formal OEM training on it, but this stuff from the outdoor power equipment industry transfers, the 2-stroke and 4-stroke theory. It transfers. The systems are different, and it was a little bit to learn, but don't have any formal training, but I do pretty good at it, or I have so far. So.
Okay, what about product?
No, I don't have a product that I retail as far as power sports goes, but we do.
You got seed and all that.
Okay, products. Yes, we have lawn and garden products. We have lawn and garden seeds. We sell fertilizer for your lawn, fertilizer for your garden. We have pesticides, herbicides, basically lawn and garden care products. So that end of the business is kind of shrinking because the outdoor power equipment stuff is taking over, and also for some of that stuff, a lot of people are going to big box stores and big retailers for that stuff. So
well, don't do that. Take care of the homegrown guy.
And that's right. And if it gets where I can't, people won't buy it. I'll get where I don't sell it. So that's.
What about the prepper, like lime? What's the dirt that bugs can't get through?
It's called diatomaceous earth, or DE. It's actually made from diatoms, and I didn't really brush up on this, but in the sea live little single cell organisms, and when they die, they husk their exoskeleton or shell or something, and it actually falls to the seabed and is harvested from there, and it's so sharp.
Yeah.
That say ants. Let's say ants, for instance. You're treating something. You've got diatomaceous out. You put it on a pile of ants. They have an exoskeleton, and those sharp edges on the diatoms actually they just cut them up in the joints, and they bleed to death. So it's non-toxic. I mean, it's not good for ants.
And an example of that, yeah, an example of that would be if you're trying to store food in a container, you'd line it with the container so that if bugs are coming through, they can't make it to your food.
They make it there, but they don't make it out. I mean, you may have bugs in it, but
that's like criminals who come into my house. You may get in, but you ain't getting out.
Yeah, yeah. They just don't make it because it kills them. I mean, they can't survive it.
Okay. That's good. Some people don't know that, and that's what I was trying to get at. Some things that you provide, because I remember working with your dad on things like I didn't know you did that. You did that too. So that's what I was trying to let people know.
And there's a number of things we can get that we don't stock. So if there's anything you need, you can just check with us. And
I always give this example too, Kyle. I saw this a long time ago, and it's always stuck with me. You got two gas stations right next door to each other, but one gas station puts out a cheap sign that says "Flats Fixed." Okay. Guess how many people are going to that shop instead of the other shop because of that one little sign? You go, oh, flats fixed. That other shop fixes them too. But this guy's got a sign for it. That's why I wanted you to broadcast all the little stuff that people may want but aren't familiar with it being at Cameron Small Engines. So, all right, we got like about a minute left. What else you got? Anything you want to recap? How to get a hold of you? Website, phone numbers?
Yeah. I'm a millennial, but I don't have time for Facebook. So we're there, but... I just don't have time for it. I'm too busy. So we're on Facebook, but we also have our website. It's CameronSmallEngines.com. Phone number is 254-697-3452. Give us a call there. Our fax is hooked up to the same thing, so if we don't catch it in like 3 rings, the fax machine's taken off. But call us right back. We're trying to get to the phone. So maybe laying on the ground changing a blade or something like that, or there's a lawnmower and we don't hear it, that kind of thing. Call us right back if we don't pick it up. We'll get you. But you can catch us there on a website or Facebook. I do check it every now and again. I don't apply myself real hard on it because I got other
things to do. That's right.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you one more time. You go to Kyle, and just the Van Cleave name is one of honesty and truth, and they're going to do the best they can for you. So go check them out, and I think you'll be happy about it. So, Kyle, I can't thank you enough, not only for being on today, but for sponsoring part of the program.
Thank you.
Hope to get you back on again. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you take care of homegrown businesses like Kyle here. So, Trey, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to do